What's up, Scorpio? Thank you for joining me. This is going to be your full moon reading for the full moon July 16th. So we're going to look at the time period between the full moon and the next new moon, which is going to happen on August 1st. All right, so full moons are all about, it's the peak of the cycle. It's gratitude for things that have manifested, seeing your manifestations come to fruition, and also for releasing those that did not, to prepare for a new cycle. So you can prepare for a new cycle with a clean slate. And then we'll talk about that on August 1st. So if you're new here, my name is Melissa, and I do zodiac readings off of the new moon and full moon energies. So if you are interested, stick around. But also every Monday I do a video. We call it Metaphysical Monday. So I talk about metaphysical topics like astrology or crystals or smudging. And there is a link to the playlist of all those videos in the description box below if you want to check that out. So let's get started. Okay. What is Scorpio's current energy for the full moon, July 16th? We have the Seven of Cups, Four of Swords, and the Devil. Okay, Scorpio. Goodness. Okay. Seven of Cups, Four of Swords. Okay. So I feel like we have too many options going on. I feel like we need to narrow something down. Narrowing it down. This Four of Swords is kind of taking a rest. She appears in front of a gravestone where somebody has been laid to rest. So she's a little sad about it. So I feel like you need to narrow your choices down. It's affecting you emotionally. Taking a break and narrowing down your choices is kind of what you're working on right now as far as the full moon energy. But we also do have the Devil card. So I feel like there's an attachment here. You're feeling very much attached to something that you don't want to be attached to. Could be just, smoking. You wanted to quit smoking this, you put in an intention on the new moon to quit smoking, and you just find yourself looking at all the other options. Like, should I try vaping, or should I, there's gums and patches. What do I need to do in order to break this tie to this unhealthy habit, right? So this habit could also be a person. So there could be a person that is gone. There's somebody that's been laid to rest, and she's kind of mourning them. But I feel like that's something that you are trying to release, or trying to kick a habit. Possibly a habit of being indecisive. It could be a habit of, you're kind of attached to this person that's kind of left you, and you're not really able to let them go. But I feel like there's a lot of options out there for you. You have options for whatever this cycle is that you're trying to break, or this habit that you're trying to break. It could be just an attachment to a person. Some kind of unhealthy attachment is what I'm feeling for this. So I feel like that's where you're at right now. You're kind of like, which way do I go, and how do I go about breaking this tie? And, I'm just making you sad. So I feel like you're kind of taking a break from all of the options. You're like, I've been looking at all of these options over and over and over again. I just don't know where to start. So I'm going to take a break. But that taking a break is not getting you any forward movement on what it is you're trying to accomplish. So let's see what should we be focusing on? What should Scorpio focus on for the full moon, July 16th? What should Scorpio focus on the full moon, July 16th? King of Pentacles, mastering finances, the Nine of Cups, yes. And the Magician. Okay. So Magician is the manifester, okay? Full moon is about manifesting. The Magician is gathering up all of your supplies. In order to manifest something, you really have to have each of the elements involved. You have to have fire, earth, air, and water. You have to have Water, you have to have the emotion behind it. You have to have the thought behind it. You have to have like a plan. You have to have fire as action. You have to do something to propel it forward. And then we have earth, which is, oh my gosh. Let me back up. So I don't want to go through the whole thing, but I have another video on law of attraction. So first you think it, then you feel it, then you act on it, and then you have to have the desire as well. So we have, you know, 4 elements in place here. We have the thought, we have the desire, we have the emotion, and we have the action. Those all need to be in place for that. So I'm gonna look at the cards for a second here. We have earth, water, air. We don't have any fire on the table, so we're lacking that passion for manifesting. So we have the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is being pretty satisfied. It's satisfied emotionally. You're taking care of yourself emotionally. You're practicing your self-care. And, you know, like if you notice, he's by himself, right? He's by himself. He's perfectly content by himself emotionally. He doesn't need other people to make him feel better about himself. Yeah. So I feel like that is also the King of Pentacles is kind of being in charge of your finances. So you're working on the financial aspects of it. You're content with your emotions. But what I don't see, and honestly, this is the only sword out there. So the thought and the communication is kind of not lacking, but on the, you know, in the negative side of it. I feel like the communication is not there for this manifestation to happen. You're not being specific. Thank you. You're not being specific enough in the wording of what it is you're trying to manifest. Thank you. Everything's going to come together now. I just needed them to give me a couple of words. That could be why you're kind of feeling overwhelmed with options, right? So I feel like we still have no fire here. We don't have any fire energy here. So the passion behind it, you kind of know what you want. You have the desire. Your desire is fine. Your emotion behind it is fine. It's the plan of action is lacking. The passion behind it, the why do you want it, is kind of what the passion is, at least in my opinion. The passion that you feel for it comes from the why. And we have a little bit of communication here, but I feel like it's not motivated specifically. The specifics of what it is you're trying to manifest are a little muddy. Thank you for that word as well. So whatever it is you're trying to manifest, these are all good cards, but I still feel a lack, which is odd because we get, the King of Pentacles is a positive card. The 9 of Cups is a positive card. And the Magician are all positive as well. But I'm still feeling this card, okay? So I'm really still getting a lot off of this card. And this is what's preventing you. This is your blockage right now, is the specificity, I think I said that right, of what it is your intentions are. So your intentions are unclear at this time. So what I would suggest, I'm going to get the cards. I'm going to shut up and I'm going to read the cards. What advice do we have for Scorpio? Advice for Scorpio, full moon, July 16th. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. I'm turning the wheel around, right? The wheel keeps spinning. Again, I'm seeing circles here now with the pentacle. Things are cyclical, right? You have a cycle. So the cycle that needs to happen, you keep going around and around, right? What you need to do is stop the cycle of going around and around and pinpoint something, okay? So the Wheel of Fortune in this is kind of like I don't know how to carousel, Ferris wheel. There we go. It's a Ferris wheel, and they have to stop to let people off, and then you have to stop to let people on. It's not continuous. You do have to take breaks, and you do have to reassess, that kind of stuff. What I really see, though, in my mind's eye about the Wheel of Fortune is, okay, you ever see one of those spinny wheels where you spin it and then I guess it would be the Wheel of Fortune wheel. from the TV show. There's different slices of things and it spins, and then it, like, you know, there's little pegs and it stops on something. I feel like that's what is going on, is you just spin that wheel, and if you don't like what the action is, then you spin it again until you get what you want. But you know, sometimes you have to you have to play with the cards you're dealt. Thank you. So I feel like that's what the problem is with the communication, is that you know what it is that you want, but you don't want it the way that you don't want it the way that you think it's going to come. But the reality is, you don't get to choose how things come. You put out the desire, you put in the effort, you have the passion behind it, you know your why, and you have to feel it in order to make it happen. So if you are stuck in a pattern, in a cycle of, well, I don't want it to come this way, I'm not going to look at that opportunity because I want it to come like this, that's where you're going to get blocked, because it's not really up to you where the wheel lands. You put out your desire, you put in the effort, you have the passion and the drive for it, and you are open to the opportunities that are presented to you. So if you're closed off to certain opportunities, then what it is that you're trying to manifest is not going to come to you, because you're pigeonholing yourself. Thank you. You're pigeonholing yourself into one possible outcome or one possible path to the outcome that you want. So going back to being specific in your intentions, maybe you're being too specific is what I'm feeling. It's possible that you're being too specific in that you are trying to specify how it comes to you. Okay? So that could be what this, I feel like the Devil card, this attachment, is really to this wheel, to this, like, spinning this wheel over and over again. Like, how do I get off? Let me off of this ride, right? You don't know how to get it to stop, so that you can get off of the ride. But I think you're getting a little bit blocked up by expecting the outcome to be a certain way. Okay. Yeah. I feel like that's the advice, is definitely stop spinning the wheel, stop going around and around in circles, and decide what you want, and be open to where, like, you don't get to choose which bucket you get in on the Ferris wheel. Okay, if we're gonna stick with this kind of theme, you don't get to choose which bucket you get into. You get in the line, and then when the wheel stops, you get on whichever bucket it is that stops for you. And that's how it works with manifestations as well. So you put in all of the 4 elements that you need to put in, and you just be open to which bucket is going to come your way. So you don't have to really care how it's coming. As you know, you have to tell the universe when you're manifesting, I want this. Show me how you're going to bring it to me. However you want it to bring it to me, I am open to all the possibilities, and let go of any expectations of how it's going to show up, right? That I feel like that's where the kind of maybe that miscommunication is coming from, is just maybe being a little bit too clear on how, not clear, but too precise on what it is that how you want it to show up. So being clear in that you are open to all the possibilities of how this may show up for you is what you should be, what will help you with what you should be focusing on for this full moon. So I hope that resonates for you. I am open to your feedback. Please feel free to leave a comment. I will see you in the next video. We're looking at the new moon and starting over a new phase in the very beginning of August. So I will see you in that video, and thank you again for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.